What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EraBody's podcast, where generations collide and cultures combine. Today, we got a great show for you. As guests coming on today, we got Jabarie Walker. And if you haven't heard of this man, he is a political genius. He went from the mayor's office, then transferred over to community. And you don't want to miss this episode. It's your boy, Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Pernetta, street speaker himself. What's going on, Rick?
What's going on, D?
Man, another day in New Orleans, man. They say New Orleans is not a real place.
What?
Yeah, that's what they saying, Rick.
What happened now, D?
One of the things, and I know this have to hit home for you when you watched it. And I'm so glad the news came back. I'm looking at the news, and when they say Algiers, I say, man, that's where Rick at. That's what my kids on at. A 10-year-old kid was kidnapped, and his 6-year-old brother ran to the door and was able to alert the father in time. But the 10-year-old was able to escape from the kidnapping. And when you see stuff like that, it was broad daylight. There wasn't no at nighttime in the alley. This was broad daylight. And me and you talked about it previous about our kids coming up missing. Mm-hmm. And as we talked about it came to our front door on a situation like this. Man, I don't know what's going on in the world, but I'm so glad that family was able to capture. He was able to break loose and get free. What you think about it?
I mean, I feel like, that's a parent's worst nightmare. That's their worst fear,
Yeah.
And then the crazy thing is, you said it's in Algiers. That is a block from my house, behind my house. And my kids actually stand on that same block to catch their bus to go to school. Mm-hmm. My 10-year-old son, and it's kind of frightening. It's really concerning that this stuff is happening in the broad daylight.
Right.
We gotta, be more active as, neighbors. Because back in the day, bro, like people used to sit on the porch and make sure kids got home or got to school safely. Right. But it's like no neighborhood watch.
I think we covered this one time before. It's the gift and the curse. We both grew up in housing developments where it's always somebody outside, and it's years after years of our parents knowing each other. So it was like you was in a net of protection, whether you know it or not. So that's why, in our time, kidnapping it just wasn't. It wasn't
popular as it is.
Yeah, it wasn't. And taking a kid, that's just not. As soon as you see something out of the ordinary, any and everybody speak up or whatever. You can go to a news article in the Desire Project 1997. I won't say her name, but a good friend of mine was kidnapped. The young lady, her friend, ran and told us, and you can bet your bottom line before the adults got there, all the kids jumped this man, and when he saw the police, he was running to the back of the police car. The police let us get some more licks on him. That's how we were beating the brakes off him.
He was ready to go to jail.
He was ready to go to jail or whatever. So you look at that situation, and now it's almost, I mind my business.
Because I saw a clip where a lady came to the door, and it took us so long, and I know people frightened because there's a lot of crazy things happening. But back in the day, you had your screen, your door was open, but your screen door was closed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where you could see everything going on in your block. And I wanted to ask you, man, like, what race do you feel like is actually doing this? Because I know black people don't have room or capacity for no more children.
I would say this different crime in our area. We have had a spike in after Hurricane Katrina in the Hispanic population. So not pinpointing them actually, but I would say it would have to play. If it wasn't here before and now it is here, we have to look in that and research that to make sure that, hey, they the ones have access to in and out in another country. We don't have access to another country. Mm-hmm. You rarely meet a black person with a passport.
Yeah.
But we don't hop around from like that. So I will say that that's something we have to look into it. Yeah. And let's look at the numbers, the arrest numbers. We get research on everything else. Let's see when they crack these codes who coming up, because this not us.
Yeah. This not us.
Black people. When you want to identify certain crimes, and sometimes you're off. Sometimes you're off, but most of the time you probably could look at the news and before when they say things happen, you could pinpoint, oh, that's us right there.
Yeah.
This not us.
This not us.
This not us,
I
or
agree
whatever,
with you,
whatever. So I would say to our white brothers and sisters and our Hispanic brothers and sisters, the DA look a little harder or whatever. Take the eyes off us or
Right.
whatever. Yeah, that's like September 11. I know we ain't had nothing to do with
Nothing
that.
to do with
nothing
that.
to do with that.
Yeah.
No. Yes, we believe in. They say, well, Jesus, he gave his life. Our Muslim brothers believe in Allah. They give their life for him. So that's how I know we ain't have nothing to do with that. Yeah.
That is.
So the next thing I'm going to touch on, what's going on. All the billionaires went hung out in England with President Trump. I ain't get my call, I guess, on my text. He ain't get my text message or whatever. But all the billionaires, it was billionaires road, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Gates, Tim Cook, you name a heavyweight of heavyweights, along with King Charles and President Trump. They call him. They was there.
That was dumb. What you think a conversation like that be about?
Oh man, I tell you one thing. It wasn't color at the table. I tell you that.
Yeah.
We was not one black person was at the table. So, Mr. President, I ask you about that. Then if it's a dinner and it's just an intelligent conversation, why not invite us to the table? But I really think that if you was an investor, that meeting will show you where your money should be shifting at. I don't care what's new coming out. That's where your money should be going on, because I think it was a power move. When all that money get together like that, they damn sure ain't talking about foolishness.
Yeah.
That's not a foolishness type of conversation. We this about to come out, and I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna need some investors for this. I'm gonna do this, and they say United States have committed so much funds for them over there in tech. And it's a big partnership.
So it's always about tech, because I ain't see the story.
Yeah, it's about tech, but British in United States, England, United States, all of them. If you pay attention to the color of their flag and our flag too, it's red, white, and blue. They're a family, so they're gonna do what's in best interest for the family when it's all said and done. So I think that it was a power meeting, and if you could look at the meeting. You shouldn't get jealous of them coming together at their table.
Yeah.
We should be coming together at our table doing what's best for us and our interests.
Find out how to insert ourselves.
Yeah.
Get knowledge about it. Jump into tech.
Yeah.
They say follow the money.
Yeah, but even if you not together about tech, when we do come together and we sit at these table, it should be about us taking care of our business too.
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like if the world is shifting and we see the shift, right?
Yeah.
Either we gonna be there on time or we gonna be left behind.
Yeah.
So if the talk is tech talk,
yeah,
let's get the tech going. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
And we have geniuses, brothers and sisters that's in the space. They just don't get the funding.
Yeah.
To take what they have to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think
but I feel like even with that, it's like because a lot of people don't know what identifies as tech. You got people trying to cross-reference tech with custom design. Like these people want to see if you know tech. And I'm currently in school, studying cyber law right now, cyber security, because I know that's the shift of the world.
Right.
Everything is technical. Everything is technology. So if you're not getting caught up or have the basic knowledge about technology, you already left behind. That's where the world going. They got robots serving your food as waiters now.
Right. They did in Houston.
Vehicles.
They just did in Houston. The 18-wheeler did its first run by itself with delivering a load in Houston, Texas, and a whole truck did its first test run. And I don't know where we are going. And that's the thing about we always so behind. Who is our tech leader that we should be listening to, letting us know that, hey, this coming,
I mean, it's in the blogs just like everything else. It's just not popular because people don't, try to familiarize themselves with it. It's already there. Just like they talk about, how they list stuff in the newspaper about your house,
Right.
and they got the comedy section. They got stuff about tech,
Right.
and where the world is pretty much going. But again, with us, we just so entertained with the social media thing.
Right.
We overlook the real information that's being displayed right in front of our face.
Right. I would say technology have dumbing us down also. It weakened us. I would say that, do you trust your kids if you was to give them the wood from Home Depot with all the nails and everything, can build a structure that they could sleep in for one night?
I know they can't.
I know they can't. So that's
I
saying
know
they
they
were
can't.
mine. They can't.
I
So,
know they can't.
but if you put us in the same situation, we would have been able to build a decent structure. So as we getting smarter, I hate to say it, we getting dumber, and the more they keep learning tech, the weaker they'll get. So when things happen, we just think about our childhood coming up. Hurricanes been coming. I never seen a panic how it is now when a hurricane coming. The hurricane used to come. It was just like we was Project Made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, we tough.
Yeah.
Bring it.
You're right.
And it wasn't so much. Now it's almost like a panic.
Yeah.
Like the water they going out. We drunk out the faucet.
Yeah.
They drank out of water bottle on this generation.
Yeah, you're
so,
right, because like we ain't getting purified services either.
Man.
Everything shifts. So I think it's better to drink bottled water because tap water is contaminated.
Yeah.
And far as the hurricanes, Betsy and Katrina played a part in our experience here in New Orleans.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is we just had that tough enough mindset that we're going to get through it.
We're going to survive.
Yeah, we're going to survive. Whatever we have, we're going to get done. They need when they evacuate, they need chargers, they need bottled water. It's just like the amenities. They need to survive, but they need amenities to survive too.
Yeah.
We will learn how to survive without amenities.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. You're right. Because I damn sure don't remember nothing but 2 phone numbers out of my own mind. If it's not plugged into my phone, but that's a problem too because people don't remember numbers, contact. You lose contact
Now just
with
think
family.
about when they say if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah, I definitely lost it.
All them phone numbers, you got guys just know a couple of numbers. That's all you need, and that got you by. Remember when somebody gave you directions back then?
Yeah.
And you just, if you went over that one time, just off your memory, now they got people that can't move without
you
putting
got
it in
a
GPS.
You're right.
So, we have came to a society that tech is good. I love it.
It's
Tap to
convenient.
pay.
It's convenient.
It's convenient. Yeah, it's convenient. But if I give you genetic modified food, I'm killing you. I'm giving you so much technology that radiation coming on you so fast or whatever, slowly killing you or whatever. So I don't know where we're headed at. It's gonna look nice because tech always do look nice, but it's weakening us at the same time.
Yeah, I totally agree,
Yeah,
bro.
so,
I totally agree with that.
And what else? What's going on? This political season, y'all, and we hate to be a political show, but we have been in a season in New Orleans like no other, and that's what technology. That's what I love about technology. They have so many different people with opinions and endorsement. Helena Moreno just received an endorsement from the first African American mayor of New Orleans was Dutch Moria. He created a foundation, and that foundation endorsed Helena Moreno. There are some black pastors that came out.
So that was real news?
What? The black pastors?
No. About Dutch Moriel's
Foundation.
endorsement.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
no.
well, not his endorsement, his foundation's endorsement.
Yeah. But I hate when people do that. They put the name on there as if he did it.
Yeah.
You know, I could be the founder of an organization,
Right.
but I wasn't there for 25 years.
Yeah.
But they're going to attach, because I got some juice with my name, they'll attach that to it. He been dead since 89.
Yeah.
So the people that's running that organization is not the same people that had the same ideas that he did, but that's how they do it.
Okay.
And they say,
I think too with that, even endorsements, I don't feel the same about, endorsements. A lot of people are doing endorsement. We, got a guest on here, a previous guest, and he was like, man, there's only 10 people who be actually sitting at that table.
yeah, and that's like when they do the polling numbers. If I come to LGS and I talk to 20 people and about obesity, and 15 of those 20 is obese.
Yeah.
Then whatever the grade is on 15 out of 20, and now the article don't, and they'll put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
I only interview 20 people, but they'll be like the LGS community. 85. They'll say 85% of LGS is obese.
Yeah.
That's off of me talking to 20 people.
Yeah.
So that's when you reading those numbers like that. That's how they do it. Cause I'm 41. I have never took a phone call or anything from all these government agents that be saying they be calling people and asking questions. I never took a survey or nothing. So I be like, well, who's doing the surveys? The information from? Because they never call me. I would love to do a survey.
Yeah.
But they won't ask me.
Even if they did, you think they're gonna put they phone? It's really phone banking, so they only going with their candidate anyway. So they do get you on the phone. Yeah, you don't know what they marking on their papers.
Yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
That's
incomplete.
Right. Oh yeah. Incomplete. He didn't answer this, but that's why it's important too. Now that we're in political season, man, to stop looking at these endorsements like they mean a lot.
Right.
Because people want to know you as a candidate. They want to know who they voting for. They want to know if you was an actual people person.
But I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you want to start a EraBody's party? Just like they got the Democrat Party, they got that, and we create our own thing. And then now when we say we endorsing, they have some force.
Yeah,
I think next season, I look forward to that coming.
I like that.
Our own political thing, and I think what that is. If we can get behind some candidates and endorse them, they know we are great people and what we do in the community and we stand tall. So now they can give a good brother or sister a chance to combat the ones that take money. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear candidates say, well, they're not going to be endorsed by such and such. And I say, why? They say, well, you got to pay.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking for good government, how I'm going to...
Right. Yeah. That's why I say dollars can't buy the votes.
Yeah,
it ain't the same. Like you could. Don't get me wrong. I think I answered that question in the wrong manner.
Right.
But you can buy votes. However, a lot of the people who's untapped into, they the people who actually got to go to the polls. And if they know nothing about you, what makes you think or believe that they're gonna vote for you?
You know, one of the problems that I have when I ask people, I sit around people, and one of the things that I ask them, when the last time they read a book? Most people get their knowledge from television. Mm-hmm. So when they be saying pumping them ads and pumping them signs, that's the education for some of the people.
That's it. That's where it stands in life.
And between that and they no good pastor, oh man,
bruh,
pacifying them. Yeah, he let them come into the church and he don't let his members ask no questions. You come in and ask for my endorsement, but I got these members. You're not gonna let none of them ask questions. If I'm a pastor and you come to my church, you bold enough to ask me, can you come in front of my congregation? You better have some time. Let them have it. Yeah. And you answer all my people questions. I think that's only fair, but not any pastors.
I agree.
I call them pacifiers, but that's all we have on what's going on. We're going to take a quick commercial break right quick. And this segment was brought to you by EraBody's Coffee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to EraBody's podcast. And as we promise you, we have our special guest, Jabarie Walker, in the building right now. And he's classified as a political strategist. For the people and our fans who don't know you, Jabarie, thank you for coming on, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
Let the people know a little bit about yourself before we jump into the actual interview.
Sure. So my name's Jabarie, born and raised in New Orleans, originally from the 9th Ward. For me, I'm one of those...
Here he go.
So I'm one of those. I actually got the best of all worlds, really, because growing up, I went to Edison in the Lower 9.
Yes.
I went to Gentilly Terrace. I went to McDonald 39, which then became Avery C. Alexander. But like I said, I'm a Katrina baby, so when the storm hit, it changed everyone's trajectory. So I wound up on the West Bank, and I graduated from John Aaron.
Damn, you've been all over New Orleans, huh?
All over. Yeah, I can never get lost anywhere.
But let the record state he's from the 9th.
Don't start that, bro. Not this episode. Please don't. I don't know. The 9 is really that big. Huh?
Yeah, man, we cover. That's what I keep telling you. Stop coming for me, Rick. I can send half of the 9 over there and take care of you. But you graduated from, you say, John Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what it was like growing up, I know it's two different worlds, and I know Katrina played a part in that. You growed up on the one side of the river, and now you're on the other side of the river, finishing off your adolescence. Tell me what that was like.
It was different, honestly. Especially before the storm, when I used to go and visit my grandma over there, it was like going to a total different world. So then actually getting over there and seeing how culturally we're very similar, right? They're just a little bit more suburban in some ways. But it was actually it was a blessing. It was beneficial.
I was just about to say better. He just said different, but better. It's much better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Not nowadays.
Huh?
Not nowadays.
I-
It's all the same. One in
Yeah.
the same. The city is equally portioned. As far as your experience, you're gonna get the same thing you're gonna get on the East Bank. You're gonna get that on the West Bank.
That's true.
You know.
That's true.
All right. So that's Jabarie Walker, right? I know you pretty much from your political stance, right? And trailing the mayor. But that's where I know you from. But I've seen that you had many transitions in your career in politics. Why politics?
So it really started back at Eric in high school. I took I partaked in a program called We the People, which is a simulated congressional hearings team. It was really for like the honors kids, and I actually was the only non-honors kid in the program.
My type of kid. Go ahead.
And it really opened my eyes to understanding government, understanding the Constitution. So it blossomed from civics and an AP government class to doing We the People, and then from there, when I was in college, I went to UL in Lafayette, and I started off as a journalism major in mass communications. So I was writing for the school newspaper. And I liked that, right? It was great. It was fun, but my minor was political science, and I felt like I wasn't really connected. So I really decided, okay, I understand how to write. So I switched it and made political science my major. And I was fortunate enough through a very competitive process to be one of 10 selected for the Future Leaders Internship Program with the Acadiana delegation of the Louisiana House of Representatives. So
and that wasn't being an honor student.
Nah. In college, nah. It was simply me. I applied. My my political science major professor was like, "You should apply for this," and I killed it. So I was one of 10.
And what the name of the program is at Everett again?
Oh, We the People.
We the People. I think all high schools should have a program similar like that, because I think knowing civil above on the civil classes that you get, just knowing the government and how it work, I think it helps out tremendously.
Do they have that still? I mean, do you have you heard about it?
So, well, let me give a shout out. Shout out, Mr. George Allen. He was my We the People teacher. I think he did maybe one or two classes after mine, and then another guy came in and took the baton, but I don't think it lasted long. I know. So kind of after the fact, when I got into my professional life, I transitioned into being a judge because, it's a simulated congressional hearings thing. So I judged the program. And at that point, one of the times I judged, Carr was doing it. I don't know if they're still doing it, but yeah, I think it's one of those really, monumental opportunities for our kids. And crazy enough, I seen someone on social media recently post they're L1 in law school, and they posted their book. It's the same book that I used for We the People in high school.
Break it down. L1. What is that?
First year law school student.
Okay.
Dang. So that really give you an advantage on going into it, that you learn more about it. Do you think that the kids wasn't interested in it anymore, or you just think that they cut it out?
I think it's in part it's rigorous because, for instance, like with my team, we had to understand the Constitution. We didn't have to know it word by word, but we had to really understand it and do deep research because we were given prompts about, like, for my instance, I was it's broken down into sections. So mine was section 5 or section 6, one of the two, and we were focused on the 14th Amendment, which is Equal Protection Clause. So we were asked a question about the 14th Amendment, which, crazy enough, this it's coming back to me, and that was in 2011. And a part of the prompted question was, the word citizenship is not defined in the Constitution. So it comes up until, so the 14th Amendment kind of played a role in us starting to navigate and understand what a citizen was. Where do the now freed black people play and partake in citizenship? So we had to figure out, how to respond to questions about citizenship. So it was very rigorous.
What was your discovery about citizenship?
So
Are black people citizens?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, with the fourth, obviously the 13th Amendment is what freed the slaves. Or let me say it this way: the 13th Amendment allowed them to modify slavery, because we do still technically have slavery today.
I was just about to say, with the if you get incarcerated.
Incarceration.
Yes.
So so then with the 14th Amendment, it gave us equal protection under the law, and begin, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, that time frame in which the, Congress was legislating these pieces was monumentous to, some of the freedoms that we use today. Some of the freedoms that we have rooted in the civil rights era and the Supreme Court cases is rooted in these three amendments to the Constitution.
I'd be glad when they start kicking in. Treated fair across the thing. I'd be glad when they start kicking in.
Yeah.
So I would say, man, I didn't know too much about you, but over the last couple of days, you have been on fire on my thread line or whatever, coming across. I never seen this before, and I'm 41, and I pay attention closely. Social media playing a tremendous part now. I know President Obama was the first one to use social media, but it was in its infant stage. But now we're in New Orleans and we are in a dogfight in the political season, and I think that social media influences is actually having a effect on campaigns or whatever. So I think it would change politics tremendous. What you would say on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the first election where we're gonna see, do social media influence generate votes? Does it equate to votes? And one of the fascinating things is, social media's been around for a while now, but we're in a different era in our politics. We're in a different era in our social media presence. Anyone has a platform to put out information, to put out misinformation. So, for me, most recently, what I've been doing is just trying to dispel rumors and put out what I know, the facts, the truth. But yeah, we're going to find out, in short order here, how this whole political cycle, the effects of it. I think there's going to be, probably not at the high school level, but, like Loyola has the Institute of Politics. I wouldn't be shocked if they did a seminar on this election and how social media plays a role in it.
I think so too, because to see the when you first heard of social media influence, normally we see popular people, but they don't. That's what the big weight is, to see if it transition over. Because I know some popular people that can't sell tickets, but they get a lot of views. But in this situation, it seems like to me, but we'll know when the numbers coming in. If this so, how would it change financially? Because it makes people, for when you was running for office, where you used to give money at to win, now it makes you. This person ain't even graduate high school, but he have more impact than the people that have it. The endorsement. Right. So how would that plays a part to now you raising money, but you don't give money to the same people? You have to give it to an influencer now.
Right. So I think what we're seeing is, and there's another layer to it as well. The boomers are dying out. So they're the biggest voting bloc. So as they transition out and Generation Y and Generation X move forward, these two generations, one grew up on social media. They were there from, the analog era to the digital era that we're in now. The other one is a little bit older, but they know how to do a little. They can watch, clips on Instagram.
Right.
They can look up some stuff on YouTube. They're still a tech savvy enough to understand Facebook. So as the next decade moving forward happens, and boomers who aren't really tech savvy, who don't, they may have a Facebook, and they're still getting their grandbaby to help them watch something. As they transition out, and these other two generations move forward, and then really start to get into that, oh, I'm not doing, as they retire or as they transition from jobs, and they have more time to be more engaged civilly, they're paying attention. And what these social influencers are doing, and their power is really just putting out content, and people are watching. People aren't watching TV.
Yeah.
How many people now have cable TV? They're not many
Yeah.
people.
Right.
People
It's all
are,
satellite.
it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's TikTok, and it's Instagram Reels. That's where they get their comedy. That's where they get their news. That's where they get their information from.
So what you feel about like the way? Do you respect the way of the mudslinging? Because that's pretty much what it is. The influencers, I feel like they have certain knowledge about certain things, but politics in New Orleans has become so messy. Have you ever seen this level of mess being thrown around as it pertains to politics?
No, no. I think, and one of the things for me is I'm somewhat of a traditionalist, and that's really rooted in politically who I've been around. My professional political career started with former Mayor Mitch Landrieu. Prior to that, I took an internship at the state capitol, but I cut my teeth with the Landrieu administration, and they were, respectable, right? It don't matter, even if you had a disagreement with a candidate or their supporters, there was still respect. That's the biggest thing that's really been shocking to me. Previously, in any election, it's everyone galvanizes and gets behind their person, who they're supporting. They're not going across the bow throwing mud at anyone who dissents. That's ridiculous, and it's insulting to people, because people deserve the ability in the space to advocate for their person, to lobby for their person, to get people interested in their person without people questioning their character or doing character assassination. So that's what we're seeing right now, and it's unfortunate and it's dishonest, because like someone like me, I come from a background of government. Some of these influencers don't. Some of these influencers are just Joe Blow on the street, and they don't, honestly, they're putting out misinformation. They don't have all the knowledge. Like Kanye, you ain't got all the answers, Sway. They really don't.
Because I lost about 3 friends, during this political season, because I'm not with their candidate, or I had to voice my opinion in a respectful manner. And I done lost 3 friends who I never speak to again. And go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
I want to say, when you say that, it used to be that some respectable candidates come to the poll. You pick who you want. After the election, the galvanizing of, we still got work to do. I think that this election is going to fall on deaf ear. They dug so deep in their candidate that they're forgetting about the work. And what I think is going to happen is, after the election, whoever wins is going to be under 50%. When you go in office under the 50%, now you trying to gain instead of that galvanized speech. So I think whoever take the head of this city after is going to have a lot of work to do, because it's like they dug in so deep. And when you do that, it's like putting cement around your own feet. Like, you not expecting to go nowhere. You pour the foundation.
I agree. And I've seen it, I have to mention these people's names. It's your JDs, it's your Reggie Arts, it's a few other people from Helena Moreno's camp that actually made me not want to get involved with her, or even want to learn any more about her, because of the people who, I feel like is representing her. And I don't know if you feel like that also when we talk about influence, right? If I don't know who you're voting for, but I do want to know. And I do want to know to get that clear. But the way the mudslinging on that end, it just give me a bad taste about politics. I come from community. You know, I run a local nonprofit by the name of the Level Up campaign here in New Orleans, and we pretty much centered around youth, community redevelopment, gardening, and stuff like that. But it just make me personally want to get far as I can away from politics. And I feel like this is the reason why a lot of people don't want to vote too, because it's just messy. Like again, I was trying to say that you lose friends behind this. Your family split, your house is divided.
I think I know where you're
Yeah,
going.
yeah. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. What I would say is we have to also understand that New Orleans is a microcosm of what America is right now. So what you're seeing locally, what you're talking about, is the same thing at the federal level. I'm not characterizing anyone's strategies to be Trump or anything like that, but what I'm saying is some of that style has kind of trickled down locally here. Because what you're talking about, you've lost friends, before the Trump era, Democrats and Republicans did work together, right? And they had differences. Currently, in this current state, whether you are a Royce person or an OT person or a Helena person, the lines have been drawn.
That's what I said.
The lines have been drawn, and you can't cross over. More so, the two black men versus, Helena, and I'm not characterizing as they're ganging up on her. I'm just saying it's if you can be an Oliver person and your spouse or your partner be a Royce person and y'all still good because you understand that there's differences between the two, but they still understand the plight of this community. Versus people in the Helena camp, if you say if you're in the Helena camp and you're saying you're supporting Royce or you're supporting Oliver, it's like DEFCON 5 and vice versa. Them
Right.
two people, if you say, the Royce and the Oliver people don't like the Helena people. Most of it is justifiable because of the misinformation that the people like JD and Reggie are putting out. And, for me, I think it's unfortunate because I believe that, like, I'll give you an example. She has multiple influencers in her camp. So, and they're playing the game differently. So you have, let's take a person like Morgan. Morgan Walker is, she's just doing her job. This is her candidate.
Mm-hmm.
She is just pushing, exposing people that she know to her candidate. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, same.
Reggie and JD, they're exposing people to their candidate, but then they're bashing other people.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who dissents from Helena, anyone who says anything negative or anything against Helena, they're bouncing on them, they're jumping on them. And that strategy is unfortunate because to your point, whoever wins has to be able to lead after the fact.
It's gonna be tough.
It is.
And I'm gonna ask you this question. Unfortunately, in a majority African American city, African American candidates had the answer because of, I think, JD and Reggie pushing a narrative and making it something about race. What do you think about? And this is my own stand on it, and I wanted you to fill it in. Every city that's on the outskirts of New Orleans, no leader have to answer that question. And all majority white cities, and all is ran and led by the majority. Mm-hmm. Why in our city you have to answer the question about race when no one else have to answer that question?
So, for me, I think in a city like this, with the history it has, race is important. Race does play a role, but my disappointment in the the Helena people, for instance, is they haven't addressed race
at all.
I worked for Mitch. Mitch was a white mayor. Coming in to his campaigns and coming in as mayor, he addressed race. And leaving out, he took down, I was there when we took down the monuments. Mm-hmm. I got the racist phone calls. But every step, he addressed race because it's a part of our society, and it matters. And it's not, you're not bashing any races. You're just addressing it. You're just saying, look, I see that, I am X. This is my race, and I'm conscientious that this city is majority black. So you have to understand it. Even Obama, when he ran in 2008 after the Reverend Wright thing, he did a heck of a speech addressing race because it was that important to address race.
When people say race doesn't matter, and I'm glad that you just said that, me and Rick have talked about this on every significant document that you have to fill out in the United States of America. They have a box that asks you about race. So when someone tells me race doesn't matter, I know you're trying to pull one over me, because you ain't asked me my shoe size. My shoe size didn't matter, but my race did matter. That's why you have it on my school. Even a voter registration card that I have to fill out, they ask that question. So for you to tell me that it doesn't matter, then why you asking me my question? So I would like to ask you this question. Education. Most black guys that's get into education, they don't have a jump shot. Is that true?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying. Most of the guys that they say put the suit and ties on, they got to wear the suit and tie because they couldn't ball. That's just a rumor they got.
I was a baseball guy.
You was a baseball guy. You was good?
I was okay. I was a baseball guy though.
So
I was okay. I was a heck of a coach.
So you better as a coach.
And right before COVID really messed up. We had a nice team. Shout out Digby Playground.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Our team went 18-1 on the field, 11-12. 18-1 on the field. We had 2 forfeit wins because half my team went play travel ball for like a weekend.
I heard it.
Right.
I heard about that.
It was a bad team.
That's nice.
I'm a baseball guy. I mean, I like other sports, but growing up, baseball, So, and at Erid, especially my senior year, I actually had one of the strongest arms on the team. I remember we were playing Chalmette, and we were warming up for the game. You go through, and I was in right field, and anyone knows Chalmette, their baseball field runs right into their football. So I caught the ball in the crevice of the corner, and on a line, I made it all the way to home plate. And everyone was like, I'm skinny. And they were like, where did this power come from? What was that?
Right. That's nice. That's almost remind me of when Bo did it, Bo Jackson. He did the same catch or whatever. It was amazing. So sports has always been a tremendous. Are you a huge Saints fan?
Absolutely.
Why? Please, why y'all always be saying stuff like it's my home team? Tell me why. Because I'm not.
So, okay. So, I like the Saints.
Because?
The Saints are the epitome of our society. It's our society.
That's a political. Is this a political answer?
No, I'm being honest. I think our society somewhat is a little bit of a soap opera. Mm-hmm. The Saints are a soap opera. They will have you what the I don't know. I'm not a medical person. The RKG, EKG. They have you spiking going to get.
Yes.
I mean,
you need your pressure pills when you're watching the poo that.
But honestly, let me say this about the Saints, and I'm appreciative that you asked that question, because earlier today, just scrolling on social media, someone posted right after they won the Super Bowl, and I was sitting up there, I was like, man, anyone really from New Orleans talks about the New Orleans we lost, right? The New Orleans before Katrina. I believe when the Saints won the Super Bowl is the only time similar to how we feel about the pre-Katrina New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Like I remember trying to get across the river, because remember I went to Erid, so I was in high school when they won. I remember trying to get across the river to go to their parade, getting on Canal Street and seeing 100 people deep in front of me and 100 people, not even 100, thousands down the line. So there was 100 people in front of me, and it's like, wow, but everyone, we all came together, and I was like, I missed that. That's the last time, post Katrina, that this city really was able to come together around anything. I guess the no call, we all hated Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
But similarly, that time.
I will say that remember that day also. I was trying to get home, and for some strange reason, a lot of people with black and gold on was in my way. So I actually had to park. I was working in the French Quarter. I had to park on the Legion Field. That's how far back I had to park from the French Quarter because that's how many people was geared up, and it just was aggravating to me. If I could write tickets on their car, I would have did it. I would have called it. Yes, I would have, because it was wrong for a hardworking man trying to get to work, and I had to go through that. It was a bad day for me, but it was a good day for the city. And New Orleans is one of the few cities that New Orleans embodies, like you say. When New Orleans wins, boy, you gonna get good customer service.
Yeah.
It's gonna be to the roof.
You know it.
When they lose, you'll be told where to go at, where to show at. Right. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. This episode is brought to you by EraBody's Coffee.
Your progression in politics.
Okay.
I know that you come from the mayor's office. Then you left and went to Hano. Where do you currently stand in your career as it pertains to, being a political strategist?
Sure. So currently, honestly taking a break. I didn't take a break. And oftentimes we have to remember to take care of ourselves mentally, physically. So, I started in the mayor's office, and then I immediately went to the ACLU of Louisiana. And then from there, I immediately went to Hano. So last month, I decided to, I just needed to reset. I needed to regroup. I needed to step away from the politics. And crazy enough, then I guess something in my body said, you know what, you stepped away long enough. Now you need to do something. So that's what prompted me, pushing out information about the truth behind what's, giving people what's going on behind the scenes in government and giving them deeper dives on some of the issues we face and how people or how the administration, how city council has addressed or attempted to address some of the issues.
Now, I want to ask you a question. As a person that sit in high seats, oftentimes people that don't sit in high seats, when you say you need a break and things of this nature, they don't understand that because the burden of the responsibility is not always on them. Me and Rick work a lot, and we sit in 1, 2, 3. We sit in the high seats. So when we say we tired, we actually tired because most of the decision making come from you. When you sit in those, you think that you needed a break because you was sitting in such a high seats. Because the normal worker, not to say his job not important, but they got 9 to 5s. When you sit in the positions that you sit in, it's like a 24-hour job.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's the wear and tear?
Well, I'll say this: when I first came on to the mayor's office, I had hair, so obviously something happened.
And I would say this too. You go from working and you're responsible for a lot, and then they got the mayor's ball. They got the balls that if the mayor can't go there, then
I think I was in a space in which I needed to take a break and reflect and decompress. Cause to your point, like it just jolted something in me. One time we were at a conference, U.S. Conference of Mayors, and the mayor she wasn't feeling well, so she came home, and it was like, okay, next man up. We were accepting an award, and it's like, okay, Jabarie, you're next person up. Go speak in front of 5,000 people. It's like, what? I'm the behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and how does schedule look for you during Mardi Gras? Once again, you have to be there.
Yeah. So like during Mardi Gras, it was crazy because especially like not this last Mardi Gras, but the previous one, the mayor was doing her mayoral duties and going to Vegas for the Super Bowl. It was around Super Bowl time, so they had to do the Super Bowl exchange where each city kind of the next city comes in and gets to see how everything's coming together to prepare them for when they host. So the mayor and the tourism folks, lieutenant governor, they had to go. So for me, I was the next man up who had to step in and toast all the kings and queens at Gallier Hall while also still helping, see what's going on with the city operations and stuff.
Wow.
So, I was just one of those people, and you don't consciously, you don't really think about it. You just do it. You're just doing the job.
Yeah.
So, for me, this break that I've been on is really about taking care of myself.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Definitely important.
Your health is your wealth.
It seemed like you actually being groomed to be, a future mayor.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
I would say one of the posts that I ran across, that you were speaking on economics, and you was talking about the city and where it stands at. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, one of the things I did was really kind of educate the public on why things didn't happen. Now, some people be like, well, it don't matter because it didn't happen. But nah, context matters. So I talked about the target and why Target didn't happen. So obviously, let's go back. The mayor at her district budget hearing or district budget meeting during the budget process in New Orleans East at Household of Faith. I'm a member of Household of Faith, so I had to shout out Household of Faith. She looked over at her team, and then she looked at the audience, the people in New Orleans East, and said, and guess what? Target is coming. And a resounding applause, super excited, super energized. And, fast forward, Target hasn't come. And people are like, well, she said it. Why hasn't it happened? Why did it never happen? See, that's her lying. It's like, well, no, this is why it didn't come. So the former Lowe's on the Plaza Mall site, Lowe's had moved on, but they still had control of the building. So that was an opportunity for folks to come in and put in, an offer on the building. So originally, Target had put in an offer on the former Lowe's building at the Plaza site.
Right.
They put in an offer of $3 million. So it was like, yay, everything was going good. We were all getting excited because we really felt this deal was going to happen.
Right.
Lo and behold, out of nowhere, Goodwill says, I want the building, and I'm offering $7 million. So Lowe's is like, which is a company, right? They're trying to make profit. They're not going to pass up $7 million.
Right.
And then when people came and said, well, couldn't y'all just force them to do one deal? No, we couldn't. As government, you can't force that. We tried to push Lowe's, Lowe's. We tried to push Goodwill to go to Bullard, the old Toys R Us or the old Big Lots. And then people was like, well, why didn't y'all try and push Target to Bullard? Well, the size of those buildings is not the same, and then their number one competition is across the street, Walmart.
Right.
So that's why it didn't happen. But we also, to really build on economic development in this city, we got to talk better about our city.
Yeah.
We got to talk better about New Orleans East. We got to talk better about the Lower Nine. Our communities don't have things because the way we talk about them. And then, like people talked about Trader Joe's on Tulane. Yeah, it got there because there's a perception around Tulane Avenue that's of higher esteem than Reed, then Lake Forest, then Bullard, then Crowder.
But you can get your $2 girl on Tulane also.
Oh yeah, you definitely could.
Chef and Diamond in Tulane.
Yeah.
Right, you definitely do. But the perception is becoming the reality, unfortunately.
Right.
And we have to change that because there is opportunities in New Orleans East for big box,
a lot of
opportunities. Target. They have opportunities in the Lower Nine for grocers to come in, small business, mid-sized business in the Lower Nine as well. But we have to as a community say these two large communities are important to us, and we definitely have opportunities for entities, for companies to come in and really invest in New Orleans.
And I feel too, because I did at least 3 years of work in the Lower Nine, Like there is so much potential for development there. However, we dealing with hurt people who's been neglected. We talking
Yeah.
about all the way since from Katrina with the Brad Pitt Angelina promises, Lil Wayne donating money for redevelopment, and none of those promises and stuff that those people were supposed to
Right.
get. They never got none of this
And
stuff.
Rick, it says a lot too about your neighborhood when Waffle House, Dollar General, and Family Dollar
Is the
don't want
only
being, but they shut down.
oh they
Yeah.
shut down
Yeah,
too.
even across the canal, they shut
They
their
don't have
they
none of that.
locations around.
That's crazy.
Churches, now churches is known to be a ghetto hub
Yeah,
or whatever in every ghetto across America. Churches don't want be in a ghetto.
yeah,
That's how bad it is.
yeah.
So when you got businesses that don't want to come in the city, and it's a bad taste in our prominent New Orleans East. It was like New Orleans was a place. If you get to New Orleans East, you made it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like that before Katrina. It was a place to be. New Orleans, a major city that does not have a mall
But
in it.
yeah, you're right. I feel like too, and this is just word on the street pretty much is that politics is playing a part in why it's not so much the community because they don't have the voice. The politics actually speaks for that community specifically. And that's why a lot of this stuff isn't being redeveloped because through the grapevine, they want their percentage of the East and Lower Ninth Ward. What are your, responses or suggestions about that?
So what I would say to that is, I think one of the things that the current mayor has been dinged on is her travel. But traveling both locally or both nationally and internationally is showcasing her city. She is a salesman, a saleswoman of New Orleans. So when we talk about why is she always traveling, it never crossed. No one ever put the two together that every time she leaves and showcases the beauty of New Orleans, that's an opportunity for an entity to say, okay, mayor, I want to come to your city. And then that's an opportunity for her to showcase and highlight these communities. So the way the way the city highlighted and showcased itself leading up to this last Super Bowl was different than any of the previous 9.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor, through the Office of Cultural Economy, said, no, we're not doing the bid for this Super Bowl. We're not going to showcase the city the same way we previously did. She had NFL officials going to New Orleans East. She had NFL officials traveling through the Lower Nine. That's why when you seen Roger Goodell and Oliver Thomas in New Orleans East doing events, why? It's because we're trying to change the narrative, and it all is triangulated. It all is connected. So when the mayor travels, right, that's an opportunity for potentially Fortune 500 companies to come in. And then she takes it upon herself to have that intentionality to say, okay, these are two spots where there is an investment. So that let me bring them here. Let me plant this seed in them. Oh, they say New Orleans East is a horrible place. I'm on the ground in New Orleans East and it's nice.
Yeah.
People live here. It's not, crime written. It's not all the things that they hear in the media.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really wanted to, highlight that because people need to understand how it's all intertwined.
Well, thank you for that because like when you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
So thank you for giving us that information because we don't see it. Some community people just don't see the work that's being done by certain administrations, and I appreciate hearing that because I really wouldn't have known, but it makes the most sense to go to the areas that need development. But yeah, it was no way that we actually really knew that without, you giving your feedback on it. So appreciate that.
The next part of this show, brother, we call "Do You Remember?" it's a game that I look at you crazy when you don't know the answers to. We give you trivia questions from game shows, TV shows, just culture of the city of New Orleans.
Okay.
And hopefully you can have the answer. Because me and Rick, we look sideways at you when you don't know the answer. Because you're supposed to be
Lord,
traditional New Orleans.
I gotta make sure I keep my New Orleans card.
Yeah, because we'll take it and give it back when the next leap year comes. So this first question I want to ask you as a New Orleans, and this is New Orleans tradition questions. I'm gonna start you off.
Okay.
Do you know where the first Popeye's chicken was opened up at?
EraBody's?
Yes, man. I say
He from that
I'm
nine.
from the nine.
He from that nine. You gonna get this man that easy question.
So tell me what you think about Popeye's. Your experience. Is it one of your favorite chicken spots, or do you have another one? That was my first job. Now they come right with it.
So I like Popeyes. Popeyes has become too commercialized and too.
New ownership.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My favorite local chicken. See, you gotta, and I, I don't want to go into a whole tangent on chicken, but you gotta put chicken in different categories.
All right, well, hold on, give it to me from the hood corner store. Shout out who you got the best?
Cause like Manchus and Popeyes don't deserve to be in the same category.
I actually like Manchus better.
Oh man.
But it right.
You like
so it doesn't. But it doesn't.
Where you at?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Man, I'm McHardy's.
you make Hardee's.
Yeah, you heard of them? Black
Yeah.
owned chicken spot.
Yeah.
They really have chicken wings. That's the regular size.
So what you trying to say, Rick? What you trying to say,
Bruh, I'm trying to say you eating dogs and cats, bro.
Nah, that's one of the stereotypes that why they say that about Chinese people. You never see a dog or a cat around their convenience store. Now, I don't think it's a good stereotype, but I don't see dogs and cats around.
Well, that lets you know a lot. But we do want to know, what's your favorite chicken spot?
See, it here's the issue. Like I said, you have to put it in different because Manchus and Popeyes are in two different categories. I would put Popeyes in the same category as like a Brothers. Manchus and McHardy's are in the same category. But then you have institutional chickens. So then you have Willie Mays and Dookie Chase. That's a different type of chicken.
Right.
So you can't. There are three different. I
Right.
can't pick. There's like different ones. So for
if I gave you $20 and you had to go get a meal,
I'm gonna probably go. I hate to say it. I'm gonna probably go with Manchus.
Oh, we taking this card for that to the next leap year. I'm sorry, bro. Give me that card.
man, choose. I'm gonna give me a rice.
Bro, y'all can tell y'all from the nine. Y'all think
I'm gonna give me a rice and chicken with a big shot. I'm gonna get that.
and still have money left over.
Oh yes, man. Man, it's just something about people. Our food, man. They'll do that to you. In a lot of places, when you travel, it's not the same. It's not. So that's one of the blessings that we have for being from the great city of New Orleans. This next question, let me see. On every night when you was coming up, just take it back. At 9:00, we had a special show that came on the radio.
What is it called?
What is it called? That's not the answer.
No, I know that's not. No, I'm trying to think. Oh God.
Well,
it was with Wild Wayne.
Wild Wayne. That you're going in the right direction.
I don't remember the segment of the show, but it's when folks who used to be able to tune in, not tune in, call in, and drop them fire lyrics. I can't remember. Dang, what is it? You gotta help me out with that one. Yeah. I know I got it right.
It's the 9:00 props.
There we go.
Yeah.
Y'all know what I was talking about. Don't take my card.
Man, what do you remember? Have you ever tried, or you had friends that go on 9:00 props?
Nah, not actually. No, I don't know if I knew anyone who actually made it on. But yeah, I do used to tune in, for sure. The crazy thing is I was talking to someone because now we live in this world where we have, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, Tidal, all the ones. And I was I haven't listened to Q93 in at least 10 years. And then I found out there's new radio stations down here, and I was like, what? I don't.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, but that just goes to show you what the type of world we living in now.
Man, I told Rick I tried to go on there and I practiced a month for my little rap, and when I got on there, it was horrible. I just hung the phone up. He ain't gonna know who I am. This next question, this is one of my favorite TV shows, Martin, and they used to hang out in a particular bar. What was the name of that bar?
I wasn't a big Martin person.
Well, what you used to watch?
So you gotta. I'm a 90. First of all, I'm a 90s baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So early 90s baby. So coming up, we didn't really watch. I got into Martin later in life. Like growing up, the stuff I used to watch. Y'all really put me on the spot. What I used to watch. Like I watched wrestling, Monday Night Raw, those type things, sports. In terms of BET though, 106 in Park after school every day, 106 in Park, and on the computer with my MySpace.
Yeah, same. I'm in the same category with him.
It was Nipsey's. So you say you used to watch wrestling. Who was your favorite wrestler?
Different eras, man. The Rock, John Cena, Batista. The Undertaker, HBK, D Generation X. Growing up, actually, I got in trouble at school because in that era, I was bad. I was doing the X sign and telling people to suck it and all that. Like
I did it one time too. I got in trouble too.
Me too.
I did it.
I was a Mankind type of person. Me, Cactus Jack.
Oh yeah, I like them. My favorite one was I liked the Austin 316. Yeah, and HBK.
They're crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Driving that F-150 up to the ring with the Bills. That just
cracking on his head.
Yeah,
you that type of guy, huh?
Man, it's been a great interview. I just want to ask you a question. Are you willing to come back to be a friend to this show?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Man, you heard it there from himself. Look the camera in the face. Tell them how they can find you, and tell them how they can help you out if the one day he do decide to run for mayor.
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram at I'm a J Walker, IMA_J Walker. Yeah, that's pretty much the main place where you'll see me really talking about issues facing the city. So
anything else you want to let the audience know before you get out of here?
Go Saints.
Go Saints.
Don't forget to get our coffee. It's available. EraBody's coffee is available. Also, our book, Businessmen, is out. It's on Amazon. We could use y'all support. And don't forget to like and subscribe to everything. Yo, Rick.
Yeah, D, man.
Take them on.
Today was an incredible show with an incredible guest. Thank you for coming on, Jabarie. We greatly appreciate you. And like you heard from D, the book Businessmen is out right now on Amazon. Y'all make sure y'all copy y'all a copy. And if y'all looking for us, you can find us everywhere on EraBody's podcast. That's EraBody's podcast on all social media sites. And we out. Peace.